Hey everyone, it's Alex Williams from Random Acts Entertainment. I'd like to thank you again for watching our video blog. If you haven't been watching, this particular series of videos is about the filmmaking process, all the way from the idea, all the way through distribution. And right now in this video, I'd like to talk about breakdowns. Breakdowns are something that you do to your script. You take each scene and you break every single scene down into your elements, your characters, your props, your wardrobes, your sets, your effects, your atmosphere, everything. Everything goes into your breakdowns. That way, by the time you're done doing all of those scenes, especially if you're working on a feature film, once you're done doing all of those scenes, you have a very nice, comprehensive list of all of your props that you need throughout the movie and what scenes they go into. All the characters that you need in your movie and what scenes they go into, so on and so forth. I do want to talk about a book real quick that I've used for, I think, a couple of years now. It's a great book. It's called The Guerrilla Filmmaker's Movie Blueprint. It is by Chris Jones. It's a great book. It's a great big book. Has amazing information throughout this whole thing. If you're working on a small film, most likely you're not going to use even half of this. But the more elements you can take from this book and put into your production, the better off your film will be. Alright, so this book is actually I believe the first time I ever really saw what a breakdown sheet is. And it's definitely the first time I started using them, and I haven't not used them since. I'm going to try to show you their example right here, if you can see that. It's really hard, but you have all your information on top here, including whether it's interior, exterior, your scene number, your story day. Story days are pretty important. You got characters, you got what is that? Story, location, props, scene description. You have it all in here. And you can go to their website, which is guerrillafilm.com, and get a copy of that sheet, print them out, and it makes it very neat and clean for your film. For our film, To Care for My Father, that's our next film fight film, that's the one we're working on, I wrote the script already, which is done. It's actually right here, if you can see it. Probably not, but it's right there. And it is 3 pages long. In Script World, something I forgot to mention in my last blog, typically 1 page equals 1 minute of film. And so I made it kind of a rule that when I got my time limit, which in this film fight is 3 minutes and 30 seconds, I would stay under that page-wise. So it's only 3 minutes long, should be only 3 minutes long, it's 3 pages long, and that should work. For our breakdowns, since it's so small and I only had to do 4 breakdown sheets, we only have 4 scenes in the film, I just wrote them all on notebook paper. I put the headers in there and everything. It's terrible. You can't read a single thing that I wrote on here, but luckily I will be in charge of most, if not all of this. So as an example, in our very first scene is actually just 1 or 2 shots. I believe it's just the 1 shot. I made sure to put down that it's an interior scene. It's during the day. It's during story day 1, which actually for our film it doesn't really matter because it's all done during the same day. The characters in this scene is Evan, and in this particular scene, Evan fills a glass with water and then grabs some pills off the counter. The location is, of course, at his father's house, which is the location of the entire film. Now the props, this is one of the reasons why I really like to use breakdowns, is because of props. I can't think of a single time that I haven't forgotten a prop when I wasn't using breakdown sheets. With the props, I have the glass, I have pill bottles, I have pills, which will probably be placebos or candy that looks like pills, and that's it. So I have those props listed. Special props and wardrobes, atmosphere, location notes, effects. I don't have any of that on here. It's a very easy scene. For the second scene, real quick, we have an extra character. We have Evan and Dean. The scene description is Evan says goodbye to Dean. The props here are a lot more in detail. Again, we have the glass and we have the pills, but we also have a wheelchair that Dean sits in. We have a blanket, handkerchief, air tank with tubes. We have several other props, and it's very, very important to make sure that that's all in there. Once you're done with your breakdown sheets, like I said, you'll have a huge list of all the props you'll need throughout the film. You'll have a huge list of all the effects you'll need throughout the film. If you're working on a big film, this really, really comes in handy, because when you have that effects list, you can go to your special effects person, whoever's in charge of that, or your digital effects person, whoever's in charge of that, give them that list, and you can actually go down the list and talk about what you need. Let's see, I think that's actually all I wanted to talk about during this video. So breakdowns are very, very important. Again, to avoid having to write the entire thing, you can go to gorillafilm.com and download their template. And so the other video that I'm going to be doing is actually on storyboards. It's going to be a little more interesting, I think, so check that out.